Joining me today is New Hampshire Representative Karen Ebel. So Karen, let's continue our conversation.
Sure.
We left focusing on the capital budget and the women's prison. Mm-hmm. And I want to just sort of backtrack for a second. I was intrigued with the recidivism question. But I also just, it's 38 million and then another 10 million, so ballpark it, a 28% cost overrun. How do we manage to get that kind of cost overrun that quickly?
Well, it's obviously very frustrating. It was very frustrating to the committee.
What are the dominoes?
Let me just give you a little bit of a background on the women's prisons. I'm sure you want to talk about many other subjects today, but basically, the reason that we had to build another prison was because we were in a third piece of litigation involving women and their imprisonment. And the most recent one, which we were in court for and we lost, and the court agreed to put a stay on proceeding to build a prison for us, was...
When was that?
2 years ago.
Okay, so recently.
2 or 3 years, yeah, very recently. Because the programming in the women's prison in Goffstown, which is a pretty small old facility on the Hillsborough County campus, couldn't offer adequate programming to women, and they needed to have equal treatment. They needed with the men. They needed a lot more.
Plus, it's a
so
good
we
thing
needed a new facility.
I mean, it's got to be a good thing to teach people skills they
Life
need not to go back into
that
prison.
sort of things, right? So, have the stay on the court proceedings, and the governor put $38 million in her capital budget proposal. So the capital budget proposal comes to us. We basically have 3 or 4 weeks to decide if we're going to put the money in. And they hadn't even picked a site yet.
So
you can see.
So there wasn't, because of the court case, there wasn't the time to do the due diligence that you would have done.
Right. Although, I mean, they did a lot of research as best as they could, and of course it went from us to the Senate, and they really thought $38 million was going to be it. So now they've come back for another $12.6 million, and we're sitting.
Will this be it?
Huh?
Will this be it?
Well, we sat there. We said, "Are you sure?" It's like are you really, really sure? And they really felt that this was it, that the $12.6 million was going to be adequate to take it all the way. And
when will bidding go out?
Well,
roughly.
I mean, it has to go to the Senate,
Right.
and then the Senate has to do their version of the capital budget. So, probably at some point during the summer of this year.
So the proof will be in the pudding.
Right.
Within 6 months or so.
Yeah, but
so other items in the capital budget that were
well,
big ticket.
One of the big ticket items was a long-term request to build a new courthouse for Merrimack County. They recently had a fire in it. I mean, it really, really needs to be replaced.
And how much is that for?
Well, this is one of those happy stories where it was originally in for $18 million, and it was decreased to $16.6 million. So
that's a
that was
positive
good.
variance.
Another interesting thing that we worked on is the Piscataqua River turning basin, which is associated with the harbor down there in Portsmouth, because we want to be able to facilitate, boats coming in and turning. The turning radius
for transportation,
yeah,
not
for container ships, and the turning radius is minuscule. I mean, it's just scary when they describe it to you. So that was another big ticket item.
And how much was that?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I can check my notes if you'd like. But it was a reasonable amount of money.
So what didn't make it in that should have? We got about 30 seconds left.
Oh, jeez. Well, the wish list is long. We certainly wish that we had money that we could have given to the university system. They only got
colleges made it in.
Community colleges made it in, but they certainly didn't get as much as they could have gotten or they wanted to get. What we did was we put several $1 million into a new HVAC facility in Manchester, and we had industry people come in basically pleading with the state of New Hampshire to make some sort of a facility for training these sorts of folks because they felt they could give them jobs just like that.
Oh, so that really is a capital budget that's going to lead to jobs.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, a lot of this is a driver for our economy, and it's really, really important to fund a lot of these projects.
That's the sort of thing that has to happen. That's not building HVAC to cool the buildings. It's building a system to train people.
It's building a new facility. So, you know, there's also an automotive facility in Laconia. I mean, the neat thing about the community colleges is they can say, okay, we want to build a facility to train people to do this. And you have a lot of times businesses saying, we want to hire people to do this.
And that's exactly
Let's work
the
it. And it's almost like a pipeline. And that's the way it should be. That's what it's all about.
And with that, I got to stop.